Hello and welcome to Vegan Cooking with Soyboy. Soyboy's not here today, so instead it's me, Maisie the Cat. So today we're going to do a Halloween Spooktacular. We're going to make three things. Firstly, some peanut butter cups. Secondly, an autumnal risotto. And thirdly, some mulled cider. Lovely. Right, we'll get in the kitchen and let's get cooking. Right then. First things first, you're going to grab your peanut butter and a bowl. We're going to get maybe a couple of scoops of that, about half a jar, and put it inside of the bowl. Lovely. Once that's all in, there you are, half a jar like I said. Once that's in, get yourself some ice and sugar and pour some of that in. I don't really know how much. I'll go with maybe half a cup. Great. Then you're going to need a little bit of vanilla essence. So pour a tiny amount of that, not too much, it's quite strong. Then mix it all up with your spoon at first, and then with your hands when you got yourself a little dough ball. Right, then we're going to fill a little pan up with some hot water, and then some chocolate chips in a bowl on top. So pour them all on, and make sure the hot water is boiling underneath. You don't want to take your eye off it too long, because the chocolate might burn. If you ain't got enough chocolate in it, make sure to pour in another peck, alright? Great. Give that a stir and it's going to slowly melt. In the meantime, grab yourself some cupcake holder things, little paper cups. You can see I've got some Halloween ones here. And we're going to put about 12 of them out. Great. Chocolate all melted now. Great. So we're going to get a spoonful, maybe 1 tablespoon in each of these little things. Just 1 tablespoon. Be careful not to spill it because you're going to need as much as you can. And then just... there you are, all even there. Now we're going to need our peanut butter dough, and you're going to form it into a little disc, a little puck of the little dough. There you are. Don't have to be perfect, 'cause it's going to be submerged in the chocolate. So pop that on. There we are. Lovely. And then you're going to do that another 11 times. Great. Get the rest of your chocolate, and we're going to do the exact same thing again. Grab a spoon of it, pour it on. And it's not going to be covered at first, because what you're going to do, you're going to give it a little wiggle like that. And that's going to make the melted chocolate all even and flat on top. Look how glossy and tempered it is. Oh, great stuff. Put that all to one side and get some onions for the main course. Couple of onions, chopped nice and thin like. And then you're going to keep dicing them lovely. And then you're going to put them inside of a pan, your big cooking pan. Alright. Then grab yourself the garlic. Can't have a risotto without garlic. Like Soyboy always says, you've got to crush them. As you can see, I've dropped a piece here. So I'm going to pick it up and then crush it with my paw. And then, well, that should skin it. And then I don't even have to worry about peeling the whole thing. It just comes off easy peasy. We're going to slice them up into rough little bits. Doesn't have to be too neat and tidy, but that'll do fine. Grab them and put them inside of the pan. Alright then, lovely, lovely, lovely. Now we're going to need some of our mushrooms. I'm using chestnut mushrooms, but if you want to use an assortment of autumnal mushrooms, feel free. I'm just not that fancy. So we're going to slice them into thick bits. We don't want them too small, we're not going to dice it, just thick chunks of mushroom. Throw in a pan, and then we're going to throw some olive oil in it as well. Pour in the olive oil, add some rosemary, fresh or dried is fine. And then you can pour that all on in. And then you're also going to throw in a bit of balsamic vinegar and just fry everything up with that, okay? Just fry it all up. And you're going to want to drop it down to a lower heat, because the trick with risotto is slow and steady. So throw in a couple of bay leaves at this stage, because they're going to be seeping flavour into the whole thing, and keep it on that 2 out of 10 heat. Then a couple of stock cubes as well. Some stock cubes will be good. And then for some white wine. You can use fizzy wine like this, or just regular white wine. As long as it's cheap, I don't mind. Stir that in and make sure it's all absorbed in, and then grab your risotto rice. You're going to pour in all the risotto rice you're going to use in one go, okay? So pour in maybe whatever it says on the side of the pack, I don't really know. Right then, and you're going to stir that in and get all the flavours inside of it before you add your first part of hot water. Hot water, stir, and then leave on the heat. Throw in some pepper when you like. There's no sort of time frame for that. Okay, and then also some chili flakes, because they'll soak into the flavour. We can also add some nutritional yeast, because usually a risotto does well with some cheese or some cream, but we don't have that because we're vegan. So a bit of nutritional yeast, give it another stir, And then we're going to add our second bit of hot water. Like I said, it's slow and steady, so just incrementally add hot water, give it a stir, and then add a bit more hot water, give it a stir. You'll see what I mean when you do it. It will slowly get thicker over about 3 or 4 minutes, and then you add more hot water, and then just keep going on and on and on until you end up just ordering a takeaway pizza because you can't be bothered waiting anymore. Lovely. Now that's all been watered and boiled long enough, you can see it's quite sloppy like a porridge. And it's got big chunks of mushrooms, so put a couple of scoops of that on a plate, and then you're ready to go. Maybe a rocket side salad would be decent, but I don't have none of that, but feel free. Right then, after all that work, I could do with a drink. So you're going to grab yourself a bottle of cider, and you're going to pour it inside of the glass you're going to drink out of. This just is a way of measuring it. So pour that in, and then chuck that in your small saucepan. Personally, I quite like to add an extra bit of cider because some of it's going to be evaporating, so it just means you have a full glass. Then you got your orange and cut it in half, or quarters even actually. Ooh. So cut it in quarters. I would squeeze it, I would squirt it everywhere. Give it a squirt in and put it in the cider with a few cloves, then some star anise, and then finally a cinnamon stick. Quite simple this. Add all of that, stick it on the boil. As soon as you give it a stir, you'll notice it will start decarbonating, and once it's hot enough and it's to the right spice level of your choice, you just pour it into a glass and then you're good to go. Real smelling good and Halloweeny in here. Have a big old sip of that. Oh, that sure was good. I really enjoyed that. Great. Now we got our main course. We've had a drink. Now it's time for some dessert. So grab one of them peanut butter cups we made earlier. Should be all hard by now. You can eat it right out of the pack, but I'm going to cut in half to show what it should look like. So we got chocolate, peanut butter, chocolate. Oh, that sure is delicious. Right. Well, thanks for watching. My name's Maisie the Cat. Have a lovely Halloween, and I'll see you sometime soon. Goodbye now.